Hello! Today I'm sharing my top 10 best drugstore purchases of 2021. These are all the drugstore makeup products that really stand out to me as being just fantastic over the past year. I will be putting some drugstore products in my other best of 2021 videos that are coming up, but these are just the best of the best. So as I did last year, I wanted to do a separate dedicated drugstore top 10 video. This is my second video in my best of 2021 series. If you haven't seen my worst of 2021 video yet, I'll have it linked down below along with everything I'm sharing with you today and what I'm wearing, as I always do. I'll also have it linked at the end of the video so you can catch it after you catch this one, and be sure you're subscribed if you're not so that you don't miss my best of series. I have some fantastic products that I haven't talked about here yet, so you may have some surprises coming up that you haven't seen before. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new, and let's go ahead and get into these 10 fantastic drugstore products that I loved over the past year. I'm starting with foundation. Although I have more than what I'm sharing in this video, those will be in my best of 2021 face video that has foundations, concealers, powders, bronzers, blushes, all those types of products. I just selected 3 to go in this video. I think all are fantastic, but I chose the 3 that I wear the most, that stand out to me the most, and that I think work really well for all skin types. So first up is what I have on my face. This is the Catrice True Skin Hydrating Foundation. I think this works so well across skin types because it gives a soft, velvety matte finish and is lightweight and long wearing. I often think it's easier for oily combination skin to find those long wearing foundations because they give a matte finish. Because of the soft matte finish, I think this works really well for dry skin too. It gives fantastic medium buildable to full coverage that looks natural. The name is really fitting for this foundation. It's vegan and cruelty free and has hyaluronic acid and some other ingredients that are good for the skin. I've really enjoyed this for a drugstore foundation for long days, for days when I'm filming and I just want something that looks really nice on camera. I think it looks nice on camera when I'm looking in the monitor over there. It's one of the best natural looking foundations that actually gives coverage and feels good, that wears a long time and is really great for all skin types. So this had to be in this video. Next up, we have L'Oreal 24 Hour Fresh Wear Foundation in a powder. This powder foundation won me over pretty quickly. I typically have to use both primer and setting spray with powder foundation so that it won't get really shiny quickly or wear off or break down during the day. That's just how my skin is with powder foundation. I do not need a setting spray with this powder foundation. It wears all day and just looks beautiful. It also is buildable from medium to medium full coverage depending on how you apply it, and it doesn't look powdery. I think I had originally said that this powder foundation was great for normal to oily skin, but I think even if you have dry skin, it's worth checking this out. I get some surface dehydration, some little flakies, even though my skin is oily with some shine in my T-zone, and it doesn't emphasize that. I think because it just kind of melts into the skin. Now, it's going to depend on how you apply it. If you're applying it with a method that is going to kick those dry flakes up, yes, of course, anything is going to emphasize those. But if I'm pressing it into the skin, it looks really nice and natural. It just doesn't look powdery. It gives a natural matte finish. It's just really nice. It went viral. I agree with this viral product. Now, L'Oreal had another foundation that went viral, and it's not in this video, so you'll have to see if it's in my upcoming Best of 2021 Foundations video, but I liked this one so much that I had to put it in this one. So far, I've shared a regular foundation, a traditional foundation, and a powder foundation, and now I have a face tint. This is the Wet n Wild Bare Focus Tinted Hydrator. This has hyaluronic acid and vegan squalane to give you some really nice hydration, but what I love about it is that it doesn't make my oily areas oilier, and that's what I was worried about. It gives sheer to light medium coverage depending on the method I use to apply it. It gives a demi matte natural finish that just looks really pretty, really flattering, and it wears a long time. I rarely have to blot with it too. I was just so surprised by that. It's also vegan and cruelty free. This is an easy everyday foundation that is, I think, $5. I just don't think you can go wrong. Again, another one is great for any skin type. Since these yearly favorites videos are summary types of videos, I'll try and put any relevant links to foundation roundups or review videos where I talked about any of these products, if the description box will let me fit that in, so that you can see any of these where I tested them out or applied them to my face, because I know that's helpful. You can also go to my channel page where the little magnifying glass icon is below the banner and search for any keywords if you want to hunt something down too. I haven't shared this concealer yet on my channel. I discovered it at the end of November, a little bit late to put it in my November favorites, and I'm not sure if I'm doing a December favorites just because of all these yearly favorites videos. I might do a December or January combined at the end of January, but I have used this enough to know how I feel about the Catrice True Skin High Cover Concealer. If I didn't know better, I would think this was a high-end concealer. This reminds me a lot of one of my high-end favorite concealers. I adore this because it provides really nice natural looking coverage while hydrating and just looking really great all day long. So I know I haven't, shown this or demonstrated this here on my channel yet, but this is a fantastic drugstore concealer that has overcome a couple of other drugstore concealers that I've talked about here on my channel this year. It pairs really nicely with the foundation. The name True Skin for both of these is very, very appropriate. I know I had my foundation shades on the screen, but I do want to give you an explanation for my shades here. So I do have shade 18 Cool Rose for more natural days when I don't want to brighten my under eye, but I want my under eye area just a tad bit lighter than my face. When I want a brighter under eye, I'll use shade 10 Cool Cashmere, or after I've blended this out, I'll then go in with just a dot of Cool Cashmere if I'm, looking a little bit tired and I want a little bit of extra brightness. So those are the two shades that I have, and they work really nicely. If you think you might be my foundation or concealer shade twin, if you have light medium skin with neutral warm undertones, I do have my foundation and concealer shade match lists that live on my blog down below in my description box. There were two powders I wanted to put in this video, but in trying to stick with just a top 10, I narrowed it down to one powder, the one that I used a little bit more than the other in 2021, and you'll see why I used it more, even though I really do love them both. So the other powder will be in my upcoming video. This is the CoverGirl Clean Fresh Pressed Powder. The reason why I use this a little bit more than the other one is because it's pressed and it's portable. The shade that I have is 120 Fair, which appears translucent on me basically, and that's what I like in a setting powder. That's what I use this for. This is a fantastic powder that just doesn't look like powder. It disappears into your skin and just sets your face beautifully. It lasts a long time. When you touch up with it, you don't look powdery or ghost-like after. It's great under my eyes. It's great on my face. I think it's great for any age, especially for, those of us that are getting a little bit older and you don't want things emphasized around your eyes or anywhere else on your face. Plus the packaging is kind of fun too. It's, nice and cheerful and pink and acrylic. And if you're traveling and you want an all-in-one that will work for, your dry under eyes, if you get shiny in your T-zone, to set your makeup and to bring with you to touch up with, this is a great option. Eyeshadow palettes were a struggle for me for this video, but in the end, I went with BH Cosmetics Party in Puerto Rico. I have just been thrilled with this palette this year. I know the tones are warm, but you can get a neutral look with this. I do have this on my eyes today. I just kept it pretty neutral. And when I bought this, I originally thought it was going to be mostly a summer palette. I do love that you have a couple of kind of bronzy, taupey tones in here. I didn't go for any shimmer today because I'm filming a few videos and I wanted to vary up my looks just a little bit video to video. The quality is really great here. I'm just going to show you a couple of the mattes. I just barely rubbed my finger and there's basically no chunkiness in there whatsoever. They're really nice and smooth. You can see that there. I mean, just beautiful. And the same goes for the shimmers. I'll just pick out a couple. I mean, you could really just pick out any shimmer at all. I'm just finding a spot to put them. Just really great quality. You can't go wrong probably with any BH Cosmetics. Every BH Cosmetics palette I've picked up has been great quality. I just really like the color scheme here. I'll link to this and to just the BH Cosmetics eyeshadow palettes page so you can check out some of their other color stories, some of their other palettes. But this has been a hit for me. I just love these warm tones for my particular coloring and my eye color, but I feel like they have something for everyone. This ivory thumbhole situation here, not a good idea apparently. So this package that the writing is completely gone from is the Fiber Fix Brow Gel from Flower Beauty. I've raved about this many times this year. This is the only brow gel that I use at this point. I use the shade Blonde to kind of lighten my brows a little bit when I use brow gel. I'm not someone that uses brow gel every day. I love this because they give enough fibers without giving too much. So it gives just enough volume to my brows without gooping it on. Some brushes or spoolies just don't apply fibers correctly. You just end up with a goopy mess or you end up with nothing. I find this applies wonderfully and it just gives the right amount of product. The shade is a cool shade. It's not too red, it's not too dark, it's not too light. It's great for what I want. I mean, of course, there are other shades. This is a wonderful drugstore product as well as high end. I mean, this is what I use. No matter high end or low end, I love it. It was a wonderful purchase for me in 2021. I have a lot of high end favorite blushes in different formats, but when it comes to drugstore, there's just really one format, one product that stood out to me the most. The Milani Cheek Kiss blush. I just really love this formula. So they feel very slippy when you first put your finger in them, and it looks like it's going to be really pigmented, kind of scary, like you're gonna have clown cheeks, but almost instantaneously you start to feel it turn into this kind of powdery feel. Not dry, it just doesn't feel oily or liquidy, but you see how that just shears out really nicely and you're not left with any stickiness or tackiness. It just feels like my hand or my cheek if I'm applying it to my cheek. It's basically a no-fail formula. I can apply it over my foundation, over my skin. I can apply it over powder with my fingers or a sponge or a brush. It's a beautiful formula. I find it lasts a decent amount of time. And you see how there's a glow on the back of my hand there? Oftentimes when a cream product gives that natural glow, that natural dewiness, it feels sticky or tacky. This does not. It just feels like the back of my hand. I really love these Cheek Kiss blushes. I think they're great. I just wanted to focus on this shade because I think it's a really great neutral shade that can work with a lot of looks. Now you can sheer this out more. I just wanted you to be able to see the pigment on the back of my hand. So if you haven't tried these, if you maybe haven't delved into cream blush formulas, this might be a great one to start with. It was pretty much love at first application. The first time I tried Kokie retractable lip liners. Now I have basically every shade. I'll share the 4 that I probably wear the most here in a second. I love how they glide on and fill in my lips nicely and kind of, I don't know, fill in those vertical lip lines. I do fill in my lips with lip liner, especially the older I get, just lightly. It makes for a more flattering lip look when I apply lip product over, plus it helps that product stay on longer. It also helps me even out my lip lines that are becoming more and more uneven the older I get. They're creamy, so they just apply really nicely. They also last a long time. Now, I said in a video a while back that I've heard some people say that they are drying. Mine are not drying, none of them. And I have, like I said, every color. This is just my experience, and I have dealt with some dry lip liners before. So here on the back of my hand, we have warm nude, pink mauve, dusty rose, and nude. Those are probably the ones that I wear the most. For an affordable lip liner, these are fantastic, and they definitely stood out to me in 2021. Another lip product that really impressed me in 2021 was the Petal Pout lip color from Flower Beauty. I don't know what took me so long to try these. These have been out for a long time, but for some reason, I just tried them this past year. The shade that I have on today is called Buttercup. I actually said this was a dupe for one of my favorite high-end products in one of my dupes video. I'll have it linked down below. I'm going to reapply this too because I've been talking for a while This is a really great pinky nude that's really great for any occasion. I'm so glad that I discovered it. So I wanted to show you this shade in particular, as well as the formula. The formula is creamy, it's flattering, especially if you are not, 20 anymore. You may be in your mid 40s like I am. And you've got some lip lines happening, some deflation of the lips going on, and you want something that is plumping and nourishing and moisturizing, but that doesn't fade right away. This feels and looks luxurious in my opinion. I love these and I'm so glad that I tried them in 2021. Specifically this shade because I love it, but there are other great shades that you can choose from, linked down below along with everything else. I wear this hoodie with the thumb holes a lot along with some other clothing that I got in Walmart hauls I did earlier this year. It's the first time I've ever tried Walmart clothing. It surprised me. There are a couple of lines that they have that have taken the place of what Target once was, because I really haven't been liking Target lately for a little while actually. I have a blog post that includes some of the things that I got. I'll link that down below. I wanted to include that in this video because they have made a difference to me in 2021. I wear those things a lot. They're great, they're affordable, and that's what this video is all about, so you can check that out too. As well as my worst of 2021 video. I'll have that linked here for you. I hope you found this video enjoyable and helpful. Give it a thumbs up if you did, and stay tuned for the rest of my Best of Beauty series. So be sure you're subscribed. If you're not, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.